we have Vinny. Please raise your questions if you have, please raise your hand if you have any questions for Vinny. Let's go ahead and start with Mason.
Hi, Vinny. This is Mason from the Esports Sesh podcast. I just wanted to know, you've fought for a very long time now and you've had plenty of wins throughout your career. What would a PFL title mean to yourself?
I mean, that's like my third shot, right? So it does mean a lot. It means a lot. It's pretty much what I said, like in my second season competing for PFL. At this point, it's not even about the money. It's really about the title. It's been the same way since like the second season. Of course, like, $1 million, it's a decent amount of money. It's not an amount of money that's gonna like last for your whole life. Of course, if you make the right investment, you could last for your whole life, But it's really not about the money at this point. That's my third shot. I feel like I'm getting close, like to stop fighting. It's not like I'm planning on it, but I just feel like I'm not gonna be one of those guys fighting some 40, 42, and then so the window's closing. So like I feel like that's one of like my last opportunities, and I want to get the best of it.
And how has life in the PFL bubble been for yourself?
That's a good question. Again, like for me, it's not the first time being like trapped in the place. I was an adult league fighter for 6 weeks with like a bunch of dudes, guys that I had to fight. Pretty much like sharing like a bedroom with the guys that I had to fight. And it was a little bit easier back then because I didn't have family. I was a single guy, like, no family, like in the States, period. Like, no wife, no kids. And years later now I have like my kids, I have my wife. So it's tough to be away from the family. But overall, we were able to manage all the training here. I got good training like during this period. So like I can't complain. It's been good, I've been able to like keep my diet on track. I was able to like do my 2-3 sessions a day while like in the bubble. So it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad at all.
Thank you for your time, and can't wait to see you fight come Thursday night.
Can you repeat that one?
I just wanted to say thank you for your time, and I can't wait to watch you come Thursday night.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Up next, let's go with Drew Pierce.
Hey, Vinny, Drew Pierce, FightLeague.com. Do you think having, the experience you have in PFL gives you any sort of edge over the competition, especially those who are just now making their promotional debut?
I feel like just the experience overall, like sometimes gives us a certain advantage. Like I don't get nerves anymore. Like on fight week, I don't get nerves anymore. Like preparing for a fight, even though for this one I had like literally like 4 weeks to train for, which was probably like my shortest training camp like in my career. But I don't feel like as far as the promotion itself, it doesn't give me any advantage, especially because this year the format has changed. On the previous seasons, pretty much if you scored first round win with 6 points, you're guaranteeing yourself in the playoffs. That's just how it went. Like, this year is completely different. You could get 6 points. If everybody else gets 6 points now, things are a little bit tighter compared to like what it was like in the previous season. Only 4 guys qualified this year to the playoffs. So things are going to be a little more difficult. One thing though, like, in the last card, we had like a bunch of decisions. So for guys like myself, who are normally like going for finishes, that might give some edge. But as far as experience, I don't know. It all depends on like if you look at like the roster this year, a lot of guys have like a ton of experience, like especially like in big promotions. So I don't know. If you count my fights on tough, like I have 35 fights, so I'm probably one of the guys that have the most amount of fights besides maybe Kamoji. I don't know how many fights he's had, but he has a ton of fights too. So I'm one of the most experienced guys, so that gives me a little edge just because I just feel comfortable now fighting. Some guys just feel like feeling really nervous, like on fight week. My opponent has like 11, 12 fights. I'm sure that for him, like, it's gotta be like a rough week.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Up next, Dylan.
Hey there, Vinny. How's it going?
Doing pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm just kind of curious because, the last time I'm seeing you competed in MMA was October 2019, but keeping active on the submission underground circuit as of late. Like, how do you feel getting back to a competitive MMA framework here?
Well, I've been begging for my manager to give me fights like through this whole period. Like for me, I was just trying to stay busy with grappling. As a matter of fact, that's what I was getting ready for. That's why I was a little bit heavier and everything over the last few weeks because like I was planning on competing in jiu-jitsu tournaments since I didn't have anything contract for to fight MMA. But since last year, I was asking my manager to give me a fight. I want to fight. I've been ready to fight, like I would say, since my last one. I was not with PFL. I didn't have a contract with PFL. So for me, it was looking to fight anywhere. Not ready to get any like locked in any contract. I really just want to be a free agent, getting fights as much as I could. Unfortunately, things didn't happen. But fortunately, I got back with PFL, which is like a promotion I have always, liked fighting for since like World Series days. And then it's good to be back. Even though it was like the 4 weeks thing, it's still good to be back.
Yeah, and you touched on it too with the long history in the promotion, and you've had a good couple runs in the tournament structure, even getting to the finals in 2018 there. I'm kind of curious, is there a level of redemption heading into this upcoming season here, or is it just like a clean slate? You're not looking at the prior season backdrop there?
Like I was just saying, it's a different format this year. For me, like PFL, it's that thing. You're not just going fight for fight. You have to, right? Like, gotta focus like each fight at a time. But you're not here just to fight and see how it goes. Like, you really think about like the big prize. And like I was just saying, like a couple of questions ago, like for me, like I'm not one of those guys. I don't have like 10 years of like fighting anymore. So for me, it's like, every opportunity that I have, like I gotta get the best of it. And so I feel like that's my shot. Like I would say that winning like this season, I will have to like think if I'm gonna go for another one, if I'm gonna stop fighting. It's one of those things that I don't have any reason to stop fighting. I feel like healthy, like I'm feeling good, like physically, mentally, and all that. But I'm not just not one of those guys that plan on fighting until like I'm 42, 45. It's just not my thing. I gotta think of like my brain health too. It's not just about like being like physically fit and things like that. I got my kids and I want to like enjoy time with them too. And when I'm in training camps, it's really rough like to spend time with the family. So I'll do as much as I can, but I'm not gonna be doing for much longer. So every opportunity that I have with PFL, it's always been, hey man, I make that 1 million. Let's see how it goes. Maybe go for another one, but most likely, if it's maybe one, maybe two, and then I'm done.
Awesome. Thanks for the time, man.
Thank you.
Let's go with Alex, Gage Press.
Hi, Vinny. It's Alex from K-Type Press. I was just wondering if you had the chance to see your former Ultimate Fighter castmate Tom Lawler in the hotel at all.
We actually have been sharing like the workout room sometimes. Me and Tom, like we're good friends. So that's a fight that I want to make sure if it has to happen, like it's got to be in the final.
Yeah.
That I don't want to fight Tom. He doesn't want to fight me. We are good friends. It's not just like we just not just know each other. We are good friends.
Awesome, and good luck.
Thank you.
Head Kick Audio.
All right. Hey, how's it going, Vinny? This is Steve from Head Kick Audio. On my show, I interview a lot of fighters. And outside the bubble, it seems like you've been getting a lot of work with a lot of fighters. That leads me to my question for you is, what kind of adjustments and new looks are you getting that you think are going to help you through this tournament?
Well, as far as adjustments, like I don't try to keep secrets. There's no secrets. Of course, like I always try to improve like the things that I'm not that good at, or maybe not as good as my jiu-jitsu with. That's always my number one thing. Everybody knows there's no secret about that. But of course, trying to improve like my striking, my wrestling. I feel like the main thing that people overlook sometimes, everybody talks about striking. For me, I feel like people overlook the wrestling part of it because I feel like I don't have to land those punches, but if I can make my wrestling work once the fights are on the ground, like as you guys see, like I'm most of the time finishing the fights. So I've definitely been trying to improve my wrestling. Conditioning is the thing, like it's like if once you start to wrestle, like if you fail those takedowns, you start to get tired, then things usually go really bad like your way. So overall game, like you gotta improve, and including my jiu-jitsu, I gotta just make more efficient. And but the whole year that he had like that nobody fought, like especially people that were already like under contract with PFL. I was in a different situation. I didn't have a contract. I was trying to get fights, so I was training. I was trying to improve my game, and I don't know what I'm gonna bring. I got to get a real fight, and on Thursday I'm gonna get a real fight, and I'm gonna see like where I'm at. When it comes down to like a fight. as far as training, I've been feeling pretty good. I feel like everything has improved over time, but things are completely different when you're actually looking at a real situation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Tanai,
Hey Vinny, Tanai from MMA Island. How's it going, man?
Doing pretty good, pretty good.
So I asked Jordan the same question. You obviously have 16 submissions and Jordan has 9 in his MMA career. To be fair, he said that you have the better jiu-jitsu game, but he also said that he has the better overall game. What do you think? Who has a better ground game and overall game?
I don't want to be like, I don't want to be rude, but like, of course I have the better jiu-jitsu game. It's not even like comparable, but it's funny to say the overall game. It's just ridiculous when people come up like, well, I fight Vinny, I have the overall game. It's easy to say that. What are they gonna say? They're gonna just make themselves like sound stupid, saying that they have the better jiu-jitsu game. They won't say that, right? So they have to say, oh, I have overall game. How many people has ever knocked down? I haven't watched these fights. I haven't ever seen knocking down anybody or knocking out anybody, right? I do have like 3 knockdowns, plus I think like 4 TKO or KO finishes. He has none. There have been fights that I've like dropped people with punches, and then I finished it with submission. 2 of them actually. So it's one of those things. Yeah, like Vinny's a jiu-jitsu guy. No, Vinny's not a jiu-jitsu guy. Vinny's just a better jiu-jitsu guy than I am. So I have to have something else to beat him, and that's pretty much the same talk that I've been hearing like through my whole career.
Sounds good, man. Can't wait to see you guys go after it on Thursday. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mike Owens,
Hello, Vinny. This is Michael from Mike Owens Media. You've had
Hey, Mike,
eight.
how's it going?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Superb. 18 of your 19 wins have come via stoppage. And as you mentioned, there's been some changes in the PFL tournament formula. Do you feel any extra pressure to go out and get a finish on Thursday night?
I mean, like it's just in my style. Like I always try to look for a finish. I have won, I believe like maybe 2 fights. I have won 1 fight by decision. Like it happens to be one that I won like with striking, but it's just not my way like to fight. And I'm always chasing a finish. It happened like a few times like by like striking, mostly by submission, and that's just the way I like. It's just like it's an overall thing that's better. It saves you energy, like avoids like it doesn't like allow you to take much like punishment. Like you don't have to do a lot of like damage to your opponents either. Not like I care about my opponents, but it's just the whole thing. It keeps you fresh, so you can get ready for the next one. As far as PFL, in 5 weeks or 5.5 weeks, you're gonna have to be coming back, and I can do another fight, right? So going for a finish is always important. So you can just get back home, like maybe take 1 or 2 days to rest and get back in the gym. So it's just not my thing to have to go like 3 rounds, 2-3 rounds, because it could mess you up for your next fight, especially in this kind of format, and it could keep you out of the gym for like a week or maybe 2. Depends if you get any kind of like serious injury, and that's not going to be good for the rest of the season. So I'm always going to keep chasing like a finish. If it's either a knockout or a submission, I don't know. You'd always like try to like look for whatever's available for you, but it's just my style. It's been like, even if it wasn't like in a PFL format, that would always be my style.
Great. Good luck for Thursday.
Thank you.
Breeze,
Hey, Vinny, it's Breeze with the MMA Breeze. I wanted to ask, you touched on it a little bit before, but with grappling getting so popular these days and all the platforms like Submission Underground and Who's Number One, after your fighting career, do you see yourself competing in grappling for a long time to come, or will we see you kind of just take a back seat and just stay in the gym?
I don't know. I'm a competitor. To be honest, I had a little downtime last year. I was trying to get fights. That's one thing that really gets me motivated. The only thing that keeps me like 3 times a day in the gym is if I'm training for a MMA fight. If it is grappling, I just don't have the same drive anymore. A good thing when I got the call from Ray Selfo for this fight is that I was getting ready to get a rematch against Gordon Ryan in the end of May. So I was training. I was doing strength conditioning. I was grappling like every night. So I was training. I would go to Extreme Culture and Sparta maybe once or twice a week. So I was doing some training, but it's different. I don't have the same drive. So for me, in order for me to stay in the gym after I'm done fighting, it's gonna be tough. I would have to compete, of course. Otherwise, I'm not gonna go to the gym at all. I'm gonna just do like in order to stay healthy, but it's not gonna be like 2, 3 times a day. For me now, I got to a point that if I am in the gym, it is to like for a goal. It is for a competition. It is to like get result from something I'm like training for. I can do just for the fun anymore or the fun of it anymore. I would rather spend time with the family, if I have that free time.
Awesome. And last from me, you touched on it, Gordon Ryan. He just signed with ONE FC. If you had the opportunity present itself here to grapple with him for a contest or to fight him in MMA and welcome him into the mixed martial arts realm, which would you prefer to do?
I was supposed to rematch him like end of May. That was supposed to be for who's number one. He had a deal like pretty much done. Like he just didn't sign the contract. Because the day that I was gonna sign the contract, that's the day I got the call from Ray, and I didn't even think twice. I was gonna get a good amount of money for that rematch, but it's not even comparable to what I'm getting from PFL. And then again, PFL is not even just about the money. It's that's the only thing that keeps him in the gym, like training, like like a professional. I cannot train like a professional for grappling anymore. I don't have that drive. There's no money like for it. There's no like I don't have that kind of. I mean, I don't know those guys that has to win like 10 world titles to like to prove himself. I've won ACC. That's the biggest thing like you can win like in grappling. That's like win the Olympics, right? And I'm not one of those guys that need to chase like 10 ACC gold medals to say there he's like one of the best. I feel like I'm one of the best. Like even though I won one gold medal and like 4 bronze medals, it's just that's me winning these medals without even training like nothing but grappling, like most of these guys do. So like I've proved myself as being one of the best. So I don't feel like I have to keep doing it anymore. So the Gordon Ryan rematch, it kind of gave me some type of incentive, not just because of the money, but also because well he's the best guy in the world right now. So I do want to compete against the best guy in the world. But if you're gonna give me some random dude just to go against, I'm not gonna train for it.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Tariq?
How you doing, Vinny? It's Tariq from the Havoc Hour. So you've been a champion in other promotions before. We've seen that. And now here in this platform, with having come so close on 2 separate occasions now, as like you said, this is your 3rd chance at it. Do you feel that you have to win it all this season, or do you feel like this is just something you want to accomplish?
I feel like everybody has the mentality that I had to win, and especially if you look at the roster this year, I have a ton of experienced guys that have fought like in big promotions, and so everybody has a mentality they feel like they have to win. As a matter of fact, when you're a competitor, if they put you like in a bracket, you only see yourself winning. No matter who's around you, no matter who like you're going against, you always believe that you're the best. That's the competitor mindset. But as far as me having my 3rd shot, I just feel like when I look like the bracket, I always believe that I have the capability of beating any of these guys. There's Emiliano, like one of the toughest guys like in the division. I've gone against him. I had like a horrible performance against him. But of course, if you look like how he did that season 2, he just like smashed everyone and made it like look easy too. So maybe underperformed, maybe he just overperformed, maybe the guy deserved like everything he got that year. But it's like when I look around, I see Emiliano like as one of the toughest challenges, and everybody else sees the same way. Like everybody believes that they can win too. So I don't feel like I have an obligation, but in my mind, I do have to win. And that has nothing to do with because I got so close a couple of times. It's just because the reason I'm here is to win the whole thing.
Thanks a lot. Good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vinny. We'll see you on Thursday.
All right.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you. I was so thirsty. Like I was so dry.